Talk to Janet about whatever a young bride should know. He glanced pointedly at Terry, who just shrugged. Just then, Mr. Furley, their eccentric landlord, entered the apartment, his usual bluster replaced by an air of solemn importance. "Mr. Furley, I wouldn't worry about it," he declared, adjusting his tie. "Where is Janet?" "In her bedroom." Terry pointed towards the closed door. "Excuse me, Mr. Furley," with a decisive nod, marched towards Janet's room. A few moments later, a muffled exchange could be heard. "Come in," Janet's voice, a little surprised. "Oh, hi, Mr. Hello, Janet. Janet, I think it's time that you and I had a little talk." Mr. Furley's voice was low, conspiratorial. "Okay, what about?" Janet's curiosity was piqued. "Well, about men and women, what goes on between them when they're married." Mr. Furley cleared his throat, sounding incredibly serious. "Come on, no questions. I'm going to cover everything. Now, Janet, we are living in the 80s, so I think we can be perfectly frank. To begin with, men have certain needs." Janet, ever the innocent, blinked. "So do women." Mr. Furley looked genuinely surprised. "Of course they do, Mr. Furley. Women are every bit as warm and passionate as men," Janet stated, a hint of exasperation in her voice. "They are." Mr. Furley's eyes widened, a look of genuine astonishment on his face. "Yes. Then why do they always act like they're doing me a favor?" Jack, who had been trying to focus on hanging the garland, couldn't help but overhear the conversation. He rolled his eyes, a small smile playing on his lips. The absurdity of Mr. Furley's talk was a welcome distraction. He turned to Terry, who was now positioning the organ. "Jack, do you think we need something else over the door?" Jack sighed, his brief moment of amusement fading. "Did you say something?" Terry, seeing his distant gaze, decided to tackle the elephant in the room. "I said, why don't you just call Vicky and get it over with?" Jack bristled. "Why doesn't she call me?" "Good question. Call her and ask her." He knew it was unfair, but the hurt was still too raw. "Terry, please, I'd like to do this my own way. Is that all right?" Jack's voice was tinged with a defensive edge. Terry, however, was not easily deterred. "Oh, Jack, I hate to see you mobbing around like this. This is Janet's wedding day," she reminded him gently, but firmly. Jack paused, the weight of her words sinking in. She was right. Today was about Janet, about celebration, not about his personal misery. He had to pull himself together. "Yeah, you're right, Terry. On a day as important as this, I'm not going to let some girl make me miserable." He straightened his shoulders, forcing a determined look on his face. "I'm in pain, but I don't want you to start the wedding march until I cue you. Mrs. Keneal, all right?" He called out to the organist, who was nervously adjusting her sheet music. Mrs. Keneal, a sweet-faced woman with a penchant for dramatics, beamed. "Oh, I just love weddings. Don't you? Do you like watching train wrecks, too?" Jack muttered under his breath, earning a gentle nudge from Terry. "Hey, everybody, I bet that's the bride," Larry announced, peering out the peephole. The door opened, and Philip entered, looking handsome and slightly overwhelmed in his suit. His best man, Tony Williams, beside him. "Look who's here." "Hey, Philip." Jack greeted him with a genuine smile, pushing his own troubles aside for his friend. "Howdy, Jack. It's a big day, huh?" Philip's smile was wide, full of nervous excitement. "You got it. Oh, Jack, this is my best man, Tony Williams." Philip introduced his friend, a tall, affable man, who shook Jack's hand warmly. "Hi, welcome," Jack said. "Thank you," Tony replied. "I'll go tell Janet you're here," Jack offered, eager to facilitate the next step. "Okay, great," Philip nodded, his gaze already drifting towards Janet's bedroom door. Jack knocked gently on Janet's door. "It's me. Can I come in?" "Yes," Janet's voice floated back. He entered, finding Janet in her wedding gown, Terry making final adjustments to the hem. The sight of her, radiant and beautiful, brought a lump to his throat. "Terry, just make sure it's like straight across the bottom," so Janet was saying, her voice a little shaky. "What's the matter?" Jack asked, his voice thick with emotion. "Oh, Janet, you look so beautiful." Janet's eyes welled up, a tear escaping and tracing a path down her cheek. "Oh, Jack Tripper, if you make me cry, I'm gonna kill you," she sniffled, but a soft smile touched her lips. "I just wanted to tell you, Philip's out there, Jack said, his own emotions close to the surface. Oh, then I'm not gonna kill you. Janet laughed, wiping away her tear. Are you happy, Janet? Jack asked, his voice earnest. Yes, Jack, I am, but I'd be even happier if Vicky was here. Her words, spoken without malice, pierced Jack's heart. So would I, he admitted softly. Mr. Furley, ever the stickler for schedules, poked his head in. The minister's here. Are you ready? Mr. Furley, just a few minutes, Janet pleaded. Right? Jack, Terry, I wanted to, Janet began, turning to her two best friends, her eyes shining with gratitude. How many minutes? 2, 3, Mr. Furley pressed, oblivious to the tender moment. Mr. Furley, Jack and Terry chorused, exasperated. Take as long as you want, Mr. Furley conceded, retreating. Janet, you were saying, Jack prompted, encouraging her. Oh, well, I just wanted to tell the two of you that you guys are the very best friends. I just wanted to say how much you mean to me. Janet's voice was choked with emotion, her eyes brimming with love for her chosen family. Terry, her own eyes glistening, cut through the sentimentality with a characteristic directness. Janet, yes. Terry, shut up and get married. A ripple of laughter, tearful and heartfelt, filled the room. Janet hugged them both tightly, then, with a deep breath, composed herself. Mr. Furley, ever the master of timing, reappeared. Well, is she ready? Is she ready? She's ready, Terry announced, pushing Janet gently towards the door. Get ready, everybody. Now the wedding's about to start. The organ music swelled, a joyous, triumphant melody filling the apartment. Jack, standing by the doorway, watched as Janet, radiant and beautiful, began her walk down the makeshift aisle, a path lined with the faces of her closest friends. He felt a pang of happiness for her, a deep, abiding love for his friend, but beneath it all, the ache for Vicky remained, a dull throb that refused to be silenced. Suddenly, a frantic knock echoed through the apartment, cutting through the organ music. The door burst open, and Vicky stood there, her hair disheveled, her eyes wide with a desperate urgency. Vicky, Jack, we've got to talk. Her voice was breathless, raw with emotion. The music abruptly stopped. A hush fell over the assembled guests. All eyes turned to Vicky, then to Jack. Jack's heart leaped into his throat. Vicky, here now. He felt a surge of hope, followed by a wave of confusion and embarrassment. This was Janet's day. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Vicky's gaze swept over the wedding guests, the flowers, the organ, her face paling as she realized the gravity of her intrusion. I'll be back. She turned to leave, mortified. Vicky, we do have to talk. Okay, Jack called out, his voice firm, decisive. He couldn't let her go again. Not now. Not after everything. Just a second, Vicky paused, her back to the room. Mrs. Connell, take 5, Jack instructed the bewildered organist. Come on. He moved towards Vicky, taking her arm and gently guiding her towards the kitchen, away from the stunned gaze of the wedding party. As it disappeared into the kitchen, a collective gasp rippled through the room. Oh my God. I walked in on Janet's wedding. Vicky's voice, muffled but clearly distressed, could be heard from the kitchen. It's all right. It's all right. Jack's reassuring tones followed. Oh, no. I shouldn't have come here. Vicky's voice was filled with remorse. Why did Jack asked, his voice gentle, but insistent. To find out why you're trying to get rid of me. Her words were a raw accusation, a direct challenge to his earlier pronouncements. Get rid of you. Jack was stunned. That was the last thing he had intended. Yes, I thought we meant something to each other. Her voice trembled, on the verge of tears. We do, Jack affirmed, his voice resolute. Well, then why do you want me to take that job in Houston? Her question was laced with a deep hurt, a feeling of betrayal. I don't want to stand in your way. I know how much that job means to you, Jack explained, his voice filled with the genuine concern he felt. Where did you hear that? Vicky's voice sharpened, a flicker of suspicion in her eyes. From your father. A slow, dawning realization spread across Vicky's face, followed by a surge of anger. Oh, I should have known. The pieces of the puzzle clicked into place. Her father's manipulative tactics, his subtle insinuations, his carefully crafted lies.